These guys killed me a lot. Fuck. Yo. And the worst part, I needed something they had. Their armor. And unlike a normal profile, I couldn't just buy it. Because I made what was probably a big mistake. I started an Ironman profile. A game mode where you can't use the auction house, can't use the bazaar, and had to grind every item manually. At first this sounds fun, but in reality, I've voluntarily made Skyblock significantly worse for myself. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's rewind a bit. Our goal is to unlock the Dwarven Mines, and to do that, we need Mining 12. Now you would think Mining 12 involves mining, but you would just be straight up wrong. It involves sand, which means we need the Mushroom Desert, which means we need Farming 5, which means we're farming wheat, baby. Don't you just gotta love Skyblock progression?
So I began farming, and farming, and farming, and after approximately 3 business days of holding left click, there it is, Farming 5.
Now time to sell and spend it all on a golden shovel. First gold, then wood, then crafting, then enchanting, and just like that, I had the most overqualified shovel on Skyblock.
First stop the barn, then finally the Mushroom Desert.
And then I mined sand, and more sand, and even more sand. And at first it was satisfying, then it became repetitive, then I started seeing sand when I closed my eyes. In my sand delirium, I thought breaking the cactus would give me more room to mine, completely forgetting that they would just respawn, so I just looked dumb. But at least I got a collection out of being dumb. And finally, Mining 12. The Dwarven Mines are now unlocked, which means it was time to descend into the deep caverns. But why not just a bit more sand for the road? First, the Lapis Quarry, which is great, because everything can only kill me in about 2 hits instead of 1. Then the Pigman's Den. Then the Slime Hill. And immediately, I died and lost 40,000 coins, which doesn't seem like much until you realize my net worth is about 41,000 coins. So I immediately deposited all my money. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on Skyblock. Then I tried again. How could it go wrong again, right? Like, how could I ever die? Twice in a row trying to get through. I was beginning to think this mine wasn't OSHA approved. Eventually, though, I got my revenge. Yeah. Get diffed. Unfortunately, this other slime also wanted the smoke, and he got it. And I escaped completely unharmed. Then, I finally made it to the Diamond Reserves. And eventually, the Obsidian Sanctuary. At one point, I thought I was invincible, and decided to test my luck against a skeleton. Maybe I'm just invincible. Nope. The skeleton disagreed. Then Rifus said he needed 15 enchanted materials. This is basically Skyblock's way of assigning homework. Unfortunately, I still do not have a pickaxe, so I tried buying one, but I was too broke. Then I remembered about the gold pickaxe for about 10 seconds, and then I got one. And then I remembered why no one uses them. Fortunately, some guy left his pick laying around, which is probably terrible mine safety, but hey, free is free. A few enchants later, it was redstone time. I'm probably gonna die a lot, aren't I? Little did I know how right I was. Oh. Fuck. Fuck. There we go. And with that, I finally handed over the materials. Welcome to the Dwarven Mines. First thing, I need a better pick. Now, it's time. The Glacite Walkers. I mean, how hard can they be? They're only level 45 and have 888 health. I mean, like, at least I one-tap them, right? They can't be that bad. It's still not like they one-tap. Well, I guess it's time to start killing. Fuck. Fuck.
Glacite boots. Fuck. No, not again, bro. She wasn't even looking at me. Yo. Fuck. Yo, not again. Yo. What is my luck? One more piece, one more piece, one more piece. Yo, finally. And after way too many deaths, I got the full set of armor. Which now means I have no excuse, and it's time for Heart of the Mountain 3 grinding. Which, if you know, means lots, and lots, and lots of commissions. Now, time to start the grind. I got a bit distracted by the puzzler because of the double powder. I came here for commissions, but if SkyBlock's handing out free powder, who am I to say no? Eventually I remembered what I was supposed to be doing, and just like that, the first commission was done. Maybe this won't be so bad after all. Okay, this really isn't that bad. Heart of the Mountain 2, let's go. Heart of the Mountain 3 can't take that long, right? This is your cake reminder. Eat your cake. Or don't. I'm not your mom. Yo. 21,000 mithril powder? Mining 16. It's crazy. Finally auto pickup. Now that I had the materials I needed, it was finally time for an upgrade. Because if there's one thing I've learned from SkyBlock, it's that every problem can be solved from a slightly better pick. You know, this isn't that bad. The first raffle, and somehow I didn't win, even though I had 12% of the tickets. Apparently everyone can just donate more money than me, which isn't exactly surprising, considering my purse. Mining 19! God, that's so helpful. I also started working towards mithril equipment, because if I'm gonna spend my entire life mining, I might as well look well dressed for the occasion. Okay, this time I have 19% of all the tickets. There's absolutely no way I lose this, right? Yo! Yay, more money to the Dwarven Mines. I got distracted again by the anniversary event, but at least I got a green K-Cat out of it, which is probably the most valuable thing I'll get all episode. After a long, grueling hour of forging, I finally got the mithril equipment. Only half, though. Progress. Yo. 30K. I went to put a dwarven treasure on my necklace for the extra powder, because apparently 15% more powder is enough to make me excited now. SkyBlock has changed me. And while doing this, I thought I might as well just combine my flow state books. Then I spent way too long trying to figure out why I couldn't combine these books. I genuinely thought SkyBlock was broken. I eventually went back to my island and crafted an anvil. Turns out I'm just a broken one who can't read. There we go, enchanting 10. Now I can finally use the experimentation table. I even got a guardian pet, which immediately became the best thing that's happened to me all day.
and then immediately gave it away to some random stranger. And then I did something incredibly smart. I combined all my flow state books together, and now it costs 150 levels to apply. So that's a future me problem. Anyway, back to mining. And just like that, all the mithril equipment was finished. And there's another gourmet event done. 34k mithril powder is kinda crazy. Oh, commission milestone 2. Bloodbane. At this point, I had mined so much mithril that I needed a break, so naturally, I went mining. Just for a different block this time. I started grinding gold for a better mithril pickaxe to mine more mithril. Then all I had to do was wait for the forge, which meant waiting, my favorite skyblock mechanic. And we should be able to get the mithril pickaxe, which gives us 50 more mining speed. Yay! I'm losing it. Oh. Ooh. Dwarven treasure. I'll gladly take that. I put a Dwarven treasure on my cloak, added a few reforges, and honestly, it's starting to look pretty good. But now, no more excuses, no more distractions, time to lock in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. Yo, Heart of the Mountain Tier 3. And there it is, Heart of the Mountain 3. After all the commissions, all the events, all the mining, and all the poor decisions, I can finally leave the tutorial and start on a drill. We unlocked the Dwarven Mines, got full Glacite Armor, reached Heart of the Mountain 3, and next episode we'll start working towards a drill, which I'm sure will be completely painless. Thank you all for watching. If you have any suggestions for the series, please let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.